This MCare programme is probably the most enthusiastic, most pushy in a good way group of people that I have trained for donkey's years. It feels like the energy of the early days in HIV when people really wanted to make a difference. I have often encountered groups of people being trained where half the people in the room will be very enthusiastic, very engaged, and some of the others will be doodling or looking at their phones or just dozing. This group, everyone is engaged. You ask a question, 2 or 3 people try to answer it. Not just, you wait for a few seconds of silence and then someone says something because they feel embarrassed for the silence. It's a group of people who really, really care about what they want to do. And I think it's a group of people who have, there's been a lot of training in my country aimed at migrants and aimed at the African minority who are particularly vulnerable to HIV transmission. And a lot of it has slid off because it's been very boring. This is a group of people from all over Europe and they're teaching each other things. Yes, there are trainers, and yes, I hope some of the things we're doing are useful, but I'm listening to people at lunchtime, in the evening, all sharing strategies, all encouraging each other, all sparking off each other to think new thoughts and to have new enthusiasms. That's really good. I think it's a great investment. I'd do it again if I had the money. I think that a lot of what people need is not so much the technicalities as the ability to understand how to get to people. So I think the stuff on campaigning and on activism is very helpful. I think that people are thinking outside the box on stuff here, and they're also thinking about intersectionality. People here are not just saying as migrants, they're saying as migrants and as trans people, and as women and as sex workers and as gay men. They're being really clear about those connections. And that's also something that's really good, is that this is an incredibly diverse group of migrants, and they're learning what they have in common. And I think that's incredibly important, and they're encouraging each other. I think that they are learning useful skills, but they're also learning to explore and to go further, because this is a short course, and what you need to teach people is the basics of interrogating experience and the basics of stealing from other people's experience and working out how that relates to themselves and their culture and their issues and their difference. I think that MCare is the most useful migrant training I have ever seen in HIV, and I've been in HIV for 30 years, and I've seen a lot of training back in the UK. I've seen a lot of courses that people have wasted a lot of money on because they've either been too ridiculously theoretical or because they've been like teaching people the alphabet almost. This is something which is about growing as people and sharing, and just the spirit of enthusiasm, the spirit of there is stuff that we can do, and all the ideas that are coming out. I mean, nobody is short of ideas around that table, and I think that deserves ongoing support. I also think it's just great fun to be part of as well.